been thinking about starting things before you think that you're ready for it, which realistically probably doesn't ever happen. I know that's like a pretty common thing to say, just like dive into something before you think you're ready. But I'm thinking not so much as like kind of bigger life changes type stuff, which I do agree with that, but that's still pretty scary. That's something that I struggle with a lot too. But even just like little things, like something that you're working on, you think, okay, I'm studying this language because I want to be able to consume media, like read books or watch things in that language. And it's easy, this is from my own experience, it's easy to really get stuck in the kind of permanent beginner stage where you're always just kind of learning vocabulary or basic grammar, just kind of like these little building blocks of a language without actually putting them into real practice. The point of learning that stuff is so that you have these building blocks so that you can kind of put all that together and start actually reading or speaking or whatever your goal is. And that's something I've done for many years. Been just trying to learn Japanese, and I have accumulated a lot of books and manga, including lots of like very beginner-friendly type stuff over the years. I have like a whole shelf of that stuff. So I have all this material, and it's always just in my mind, it's this kind of category of I'll get to that stuff when I think that I can. Like I think I'll be able to get through it and read it okay. And I never did. I never really picked it up. It was always just this kind of vague goal of one day I'll be able to do this if I keep on working on these building blocks, which is true to some extent, but you can not if you just only do the building blocks, which is what I've done. Just a lot of learning vocabulary, grammar, just very just sentence practice, one sentence at a time, stuff like that. And I recently started actually reading something. I took one of the books. I have a whole manga series called Yotsuba, which I have read in English, so I know the story, and I have it all in Japanese as well. And I just picked it up just to see. I thought I could start this, and if it just feels like such a slog that I'm not getting anywhere with it, then I can just put it back down again. But that's not what happened. I was very surprised by how much I could get through it, and it was definitely still some effort, and I didn't know a lot of words, but I did know a lot more than I expected. And I've just been reading kind of one chapter at a time, not being super consistent with it, but when I can get to it, it goes a lot more smoothly than I expected. And that's the most recent example that comes to mind. I've definitely had other experiences like that, like with recording music. I've talked about this in another video of spending a long time just trying to learn kind of recording software, the technology side of music, and a lot of time arranging things kind of in my head. So just having these kind of the two basic elements, and of course being able to play the stuff, which I can too, but never really actually putting a recording together, because I just thought like I wasn't going to be able to do a good job. It's going to be too hard. I'm not going to know how to get things to sound right. The software, I'm not going to know how to use the software well enough. I need to like keep learning how to do something before I can actually do it. And that's another thing I did for many years. Really since childhood, when I was first interested in music, and I started kind of planning out these arrangements in my head. But it was always just kind of a vague, distant dream of actually putting it into a tangible, end result. And that's something I started this maybe last year, and I got a couple recordings in, and same with the language learning, is that it just went a lot more smoothly than I ever anticipated. And there were some challenges that I was able to work out, and without too much trouble, just because I had done kind of the groundwork that I thought I didn't have enough groundwork, but I really did. And once I put it into practice, I was able to just like crank out all these recordings, and it's stuff that I'm happy with too. It doesn't feel like this is my first try and it's not going to be good. I have had plenty of those before, but this time when I was I feel like I had accurately done the groundwork and I was putting it into practice. Everything came together really well, and I am very happy with all the recordings I've done. And another benefit is that actually having gotten some results, I feel a lot more confident that I am able to get more results. If you have nothing done, then having one thing done is like 100% or whatever change. So it just feels kind of monumental. But then, if you finish one thing, then finishing a second thing, it's only a 50% increase, or I don't think this percentages are right, but you get the point. And just the more you do something, the easier it gets, of course. But anyway, I think just like having confidence in yourself, you do a little bit of the groundwork first, and then just get into something. And I think it's always easier than we expect. I think we just don't give ourselves enough credit for what we've learned and kind of our basis of knowledge and ability on any type of topic or skill.